So I was getting ready for work and I decided to comb my hair. Or should I say I decided to comb my hair. Confusing? Comb? Well, let me tell you, English is pretty confusing and there are a lot of letters which are actually the silent letters. That's what we're going to talk about today. Stay with me. Hello and welcome to today's lesson. My name is Rima and today's lesson is extremely interesting because I have for you certain rules for when certain letters are silent. I know it can get very confusing in English as to which alphabet is silent when, and it can be a complete nightmare. I'm going to take care of your nightmare today. I'm going to talk about rules for when letters B, C, D are silent in certain words. Okay, so I've listed out the words and the rules over here. Let's begin with the alphabet B. Okay, now when is the alphabet B silent? Now there's a rule and let me explain the rule to you. B is silent at the end when M comes before it. Confused? Don't be. So when it's a combination of MB, okay, in certain words where M comes before followed by a B and B is the last alphabet of that word, then that B is silent. Okay, I hope the rule is clear. I'm going to repeat it for you. Okay, when it's a combination of MB where M comes before B and B is at the end of a word, then B is silent. Okay, now if we have to apply this rule to these words, how will we say these words? Listen carefully. L-I-M-B is not limb, it's limb because B is silent. Similarly, C-R-U-M-B is not crumb, it's crumb because B is silent. Then similarly, this is not dumb, it's dumb. B is silent. Then of course there is B-O-M-B, which is not bomb, it is bomb. Similarly, T-H-U-M-B is not thumb, it is thumb. Okay, so that's how the pronunciation goes. Now, limb means a limb of your body. It could be your hand or leg. Crumb means a small tiny piece of biscuit or bread, the tiniest little particle. It's called a crumb. Dumb is referred to people, is used when you have to refer to people who are not very intelligent, and I'll definitely not use that word to describe you. Okay, moving on, bomb is actually an explosive. It's a weapon used for violence, something that, you know, all of us probably do not support. And the last one is thumb, which stands for this finger. Yes, that's right. Okay, I hope you've got this one rule, you've got the pronunciations and the meanings of the word. Let's move on to another rule for when B, the alphabet B, is silent in certain English words. Okay, so I have for you 3 words over here. Okay, and the rule happens to be that when it's a combination of BT in such a way that B comes before T at the end of a word, then B is silent. Okay. Similarly, in this word, when B and T come together, where B is before T and T is at the end of the word, then B is silent. Okay, let's look at these 2 words first because they actually stand for this rule. So, D-E-B-T is not debt, it's debt. Why? Because B happens to be silent. That's right. Moving on, D-O-U-B-T is not doubt. I don't even know how to pronounce that. It's doubt because B is silent. Okay. Now the meaning of debt is when you owe somebody something, especially money. Doubt is when you don't trust someone, then you doubt that person. But what about this word? Because this word is a slight exception to this rule. Now the combination of BT is there. But T is not the last alphabet in this word because the word is spelled as S-U-B-T-L-E. But this rule still applies to this word, and this word is not pronounced as subtle, it is subtle because BT are together and B is silent. And the pronunciation of this word is subtle. That's right. Now the meaning of subtle means not overly strong, something that's gentle and low-key, that is subtle. So well, I really hope that you've understood this rule. When BT is a combination, B comes before a T and T is at the end of the word, then B is silent. I'll go over the pronunciations one last time. So it's not debt, it's debt. D-O-U-B-T is doubt. And S-U-B-T-L-E is not subtle, it's subtle. Okay? Now let's move on to the rules for when the alphabet C in English words is silent. Now this rule is really simple. When it's a combination of SC, okay, together, where S comes before C, that's when C is silent. Okay? So if we have to apply this rule where SC are together, S is before C and C is silent, then how will we pronounce these words? The first word is muscle, okay, because C is silent. Then it's scissors, again C is silent. Then is scenario, where you're using the pronunciation of the letter S instead of C, okay. Then there is miscellaneous, where again C is silent. And fascinate, where again C is silent. I'm quickly going to tell you the meanings of these words so that you're familiar with them. Okay, now muscle stands for the muscles that we have in our body. Okay, and scissors are the object that you use to cut something, be it paper or cloth. Then scenario stands for a certain situation, either in your life or workplace or whatever. Then miscellaneous is a collection of objects that have been collected from various sources. Now, if I give you the example of my handbag, I can say that my handbag has a collection of miscellaneous objects, which means my handbag is full of objects which have come from different places and different sources, basically just lots of random objects. Okay, moving on, the next word, fascinate, means something that catches your eye or catches your interest. I really hope you've understood this rule. The pronunciations for you one more time. It's muscle, scissors, scenario, miscellaneous, fascinate. Now let's look at the next rule for when the alphabet C happens to be silent in certain words. It's a very simple rule. Let me explain to you. If it's a combination of CK or CQ in such a way that C comes before K or C comes before Q, then C ends up being silent. It's as easy as that, and I've listed out two words for you. The first one has a combination of CQ, the second one has a combination of CK. Now in both these cases, C is silent. Now if C is silent, how are you going to say these words? Very simple. You say acquaintance, where C is silent and you're using the sound of Q. And the next word is acknowledge, where again C is silent and you're using the sound of the letter K. Now the first word, acquaintance, means somebody that you know socially, but not somebody who's your friend. So I could say that so-and-so is my acquaintance, meaning I know him or her, but that person is not my friend. So we're not close, really. Moving on, the next one, acknowledge, means to notice someone's presence. Okay, so if I walk into a room and my boss acknowledges my presence with a nod, that means he's noticed and approved of my presence. That's how easy it is. So the pronunciations one last time, pay attention. It's acquaintance, where C is silent, and it's acknowledge, where again C is silent. So well, that was all about the letters B and C. And now I come to the alphabet D. Now the alphabet is D. D is silent in these words, okay, which makes their pronunciation slightly tricky. But don't worry, I'm going to guide you through it, okay. The first one is not handkerchief because D is silent, it's handkerchief, okay. So listen to me one more time, it's handkerchief. Moving on, the next one, which is one of the most common mistakes that I've heard, the day of the week, you know, it's not Wednesday because the D is silent, it's Wednesday. That's right, that's how it is. It's Wednesday and not Wednesday, okay. The next one, my favorite, I'm sure you like it too. It's not a sandwich that you eat, it's a sandwich where the D is silent. And the other day I was walking on the street and I spotted not a handsome man, but a handsome man. So well, I hope you know the meanings of these words. Handkerchief, the small beautiful piece of cloth that you carry, you know, with you, probably to wipe your face, your nose. Wednesday, the day of the week. The sandwich, the one that you eat made out of bread or whatever else that you like. And handsome, which means someone who's attractive and good looking, mostly used for men. So the pronunciations one more time: handkerchief, Wednesday, sandwich, handsome. Moving on to the next rule. Now this is a very simple rule, okay. If it's a combination of DG in such a way that G comes after D, okay, then D is silent. So look at these words. There's a DG here, here and here. And because D comes before G, D is silent in all these cases. So the way you'll say these words is, it'll not be pledge, it'll be pledge because D is silent. It will not be dodge, it'll be dodge because D is silent. It will not be grudge, it'll be grudge because D is silent. I'm quickly going to tell you the meanings of these words. A pledge is a promise or a determination that you make to something or someone, okay? Dodge is when you kind of dodge a bullet or a situation, as in you come out of it, you save yourself. And grudge is when you hold some sort of a negative feeling in your heart towards someone. So the pronunciations one more time. It's pledge, dodge, grudge. Really, really simple. And that's the rule of the combination of DG when D is silent. Well, I really hope that you've actually understood and enjoyed learning these rules when letters B, C and D are silent in certain words. Make sure you keep practicing these words and their pronunciations. And of course, if you like this lesson, do subscribe to our channel. It's time for me, Rima, to take your leave. I say bye-bye and take care.